Wait a minute. We gotta get cameras. We gotta get audio. Cameras. Oops, too much. And here we go. Good evening. Welcome to the City of Hialeah Planning and Zoning Board meeting for Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Everyone please rise for the invocation and the Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Ulloa will do the honors tonight. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May be seated. Go ahead and do the preparations, and then before we start.
Meeting guidelines. The following guidelines apply to today's Planning and Zoning Board meeting. Any person, whether participating via the web platform, telephonic conferencing, or physical presence at City Hall, interested in making comments or posing questions on any item on the agenda may do so during the meeting. Members of the public may hear the meeting live through telephonic conferencing using any telephone or cellular phone service. A smart device or computer are not necessary to participate in the meeting if you join by phone. All persons participating via the web platform will be muted during the meeting until called upon to be heard. Participation through Zoom requires a computer or smart mobile device with a microphone and web camera. The participant may elect to participate in the meeting using audio only or appear through both audio and video. The video functions of all participants appearing through video will be turned off until called upon to be heard. All lobbyists must register with the Planning and Zoning Board prior to item being heard. A maximum of 4 speakers in favor and 4 speakers in opposition will be allowed to address the Planning and Zoning Board on any item. Each speaker's comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Roll call. Mr. Perez?
Here.
Mr. Mason?
Here.
Mr. Iglesias?
Here.
Mr. Ulloa?
Here.
Mr. Morales?
Here.
Mrs. Enriquez? Here. We have a quorum.
Stop here.
Administration of oath to all applicants and anyone who will be speaking before the board on any item.
Anyone and everyone that's going to speak in front of the board, please stand or raise your right hand so we can swear you in. Do we have anybody on Zoom? Okay.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board? ¿Usted jura o afirma decir la verdad ante esta junta?
Thank you. You may be seated. Let the record show the answer was on the affirmative.
Summary minutes or a copy of the audio files of the proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Board shall be prepared and submitted to the City Council before its hearing. The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at its scheduled meeting of Tuesday, November 18th, 2025.
Okay, at this time, I'm going to ask the board for their indulgence. See if we can, if it's okay with the rest of the board, we can move item number 5 to the top. And then we can go to the land use amendment. We have it's okay with y'all?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Go ahead and read again.
Item number 5, rezoning properties from R1 One Family District and C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District to P Parking District. Properties are located at 612 East 27th Street and folio number 04-3108-001-2700. Hialeah zoned R1 One Family District and C2 Liberal Retail Commercial District. Applicant Javier L. Vasquez, Squire on behalf of MPT of Hialeah Exchange LLC.
Good evening, Javi Vasquez with Gunster Oakley Law Firm, 600 Brickell Avenue.
Thank you.
This application consists of 2 properties located on the southern corner of East 6th Avenue and East 27th Street, identified with folio numbers 04-3108-001-2710, parcel 1, and 04-3108-001-2700, parcel 2, according to Miami-Dade County Property Appraisal's Office. The properties were platted according to page and book number 34-26 in 1932, according to Miami-Dade County records. The current size of the parcels is approximately 0.43 acres or 19,142 square feet. Towards the south of the parcel, there is an existing 12-foot alley that physically separates the parcels from the existing Northern Hialeah Hospital parking lot. The existing land use of both parcels is low-density residential, and the zoning for parcel 1 is R1, one-family district, and parcel 2 is C2, liberal retail commercial district. Parcel 1 has a conforming land use and zoning, whereas parcel 2 does not. Adjacent properties to the north and east have a low-density residential land use with R1, one-family zoning district zoning. To the west, there is a medium-density residential land use and an R33 multifamily district zoning. And to the south, there is major institution land use with a C2 liberal retail commercial district zoning. If this application gets approved, both parcels will have a consistent land use designation and zoning classification, since P parking district zoning is permitted within the low-density residential land use. This application is requesting approval for the rezoning of both parcels. Parcel 1 is requesting to be rezoned from R1, one-family district, to P, parking district, and parcel 2 is requesting to be rezoned from C2, liberal retail commercial district, to P, parking district. The city zoning parking district requires paving, drainage, lighting, and landscaping with a proper vehicular access and circulation, which the applicant has provided plans satisfying these requirements. The site plan requirements, which are pending, is 2 ADA-compliant parking spaces and a 6-foot CBS wall on the east side of the property for dissimilar uses. These improvements are to be provided at site plan and concurrency process. As stated in the applicant's letter of intent, the proposed parking lot will serve the Hialeah Hospital parking needs, since the hospital will be demolishing the existing parking garage in the near future. According to section number 98-1616, commercial parking lots are prohibited. Therefore, the use of the parking lot is exclusively for the use of the Hialeah Hospital. This requirement, it is to be materialized by the applicant submitted a unity of title and declaration of use according to section 98-1618. Since this application is seeking no variances and the site plan submitted qualify for the requirements listed in the code, staff finds that the application is in compliance with the code intent and regulations. Staff recommends approval for the rezoning with the above mentioned site plan modifications.
Thank you. Javi?
Thank you, Mr. Chair and board members. Thank you so much for taking me out of order. My apology and my thanks to the others on the agenda. I have another board meeting, Community Council 14 down south at 6:30. I'm going to try and get there on time. So very, very, very appreciative of this gesture. I represent MPT of Hialeah Stewart, the owners of Hialeah Hospital. And as you know, Hialeah Hospital is undergoing a lot of changes. The parking garage all the way on the eastern side of that complex is being demolished. So
That's new.
Yeah.
It's only a few years.
no, that thing's been around for a long time.
That was built in the 80s. I was like,
Yeah.
Was it really?
Yeah,
I was a little kid when they were building it.
Yeah.
And I would go down the ramp on roller skates and
Anyway, I'm sorry, I didn't.
no problem. So the two lots in question are located at the southeast corner of south of East 6th Street and East 6th Avenue and 27th Street. Hialeah Hospital is wanting to rezone these to P. As the staff report indicated, this will be specifically in the meantime. For now, it's going to be for patients, staff, and visitors. Once the garage is built, it'll be specifically for staff. The parking, the parking lot will not be available for the public at large. That's prohibited by law. And we will be providing a declaration of restrictions in that regard. We're not aware of any opposition for this. This is something that's very helpful for the situation at Hialeah Hospital. We have a staff recommendation of approval. And with that, I will close and respectfully request that you too forward a recommendation of approval to the city council.
Thank you. Well, I guess time flies because anyway, comments or questions?
yeah, there was a chair.
Yeah.
What's the plan with the old parking lot? You're gonna knock it down? What are they building there?
There's going to be a new parking structure built there, and it's going to be a much nicer structure. There are tremendous challenges. I was in a meeting, stuff that goes beyond me because there was a lot of building related issues, but there are components of the existing structure that they have to preserve because there's a lot of electricity running through there. All the panels run through there. And obviously you have to keep the hospital operating, right? So there's a lot of things that have to be put in place to make sure that while the demo happens, certain issues are in place to make sure that there's safety. But it's a tremendous project and it's going to be another parking garage.
So you're gonna have two parking garages? You're gonna build a new one on this one, or is this just gonna be a temporary parking area?
This is going to be a parking area that will remain a parking area for good. And for now, it'll be for patients, users, and family. And once the new parking garage is built, this will remain a parking area just for staff.
It's just gonna be paved over.
This, through the chair, just for clarification, this is a permanent parking lot. This is not going to be a temporary, so it's permanent. It has drainage, it's presented with drainage, lighting, landscaping, according to all the code requirements. So it's permanent.
Okay, but it's not gonna be a building, it's just gonna be a
No,
lot.
it's
Just a-
just.
So it's gonna be something like Leon's, right next to it.
And if I have to guess, for now, access is from 27th Street. There's a 12-foot alley. And if I had to guess, that's eventually going to be vacated. We're in the process of having those conversations. And if and when that's vacated, access will be from Hialeah Hospital, and there will not be any cars coming in and out on 27th
Okay.
Street.
Okay.
Any more comments or questions? Anyone in the audience? All right, close the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the audience?
Motion to approve. Second. With conditions.
Okay,
Conditions.
so we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Morales. Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Perez.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you so much, and thank you once again for.
Hey, be careful. Don't get a ticket on our behalf.
Okay, so we will go back to the.
Okay,
land
let's
use
get back to the
board.
line use, yes.
LU one. Small scale map amendment from residential office to medium density residential. Properties located at 258 East 49th Street, Hialeah zoned are all residential office district. Applicant William W. Riley, Esquire on behalf of Titties Holdings LLC.
Name and address, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, for the record, my name is Bill Riley. Office is located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, way down south. Here on behalf of the applicant, we have a PowerPoint presentation prepared for you. I don't know if we can pull that up.
Yeah, she's gonna, let her read it into the record
Okay,
first, and then they get their,
Yes, sir. Yes,
their
Mr. Chairman.
presentation together.
The property in this application is located on the south side of East 49th Street, between East 2nd Avenue and East 3rd Avenue. The lot is approximately 6,878 square feet or 0.15 acres. The site is improved with a 1,124 square foot single-family residence built in 1950 that was later converted in 1990 into an office building when it was rezoned from R1, one family district, to RO, residential office district, under City of Hialeah Ordinance number 1990-46. City record shows that the property has been operating as a dental office since 2020. The property is designated as a residential office in the city's future land use map. The land uses to the north consist of residential, office, and commercial designations. To the east, the land uses are residential office and recreation open space. To the south, the land use includes low-density residential and major institutions. To the west, the land use consists of residential office and commercial. The residential office land use designation and zoning classification were originally intended to serve as a buffer between high-traffic corridors and low-density residential neighborhoods by permitting small-scale professional offices within existing homes. However, over time, professional corporations consolidated independent practices, and many of these residential office properties continue to operate professional offices with limitations on the number of occupational license or business tax receipts, but not on staff size or clientele. This has led to the overcrowded medical office frequently observed today, along with the increased number of requests for additional occupational license. The existing development patterns along East 49th Street corridor is mostly one-story houses built in the 1940s and 1950s, converted into medical office or small strip centers, which have experienced limited reinvestment. Most redevelopment has occurred only on assembled properties with commercial land use designation. Due to the restrictive nature of the residential office classification, the corridor has seen minimal modernization over recent decades. The applicant is before the city requesting a land use amendment from residential office to medium density residential. Accompanied by this application is an application to rezone the property from RO, residential office districts, to R33, multifamily district. The applicant also seeks to expand the neighborhood business district, NBD, overlay with the intent of redeveloping the site into a 3-story multifamily building consisting of 6 residential units. The proposal has been submitted to the Miami-Dade County Public School Concurrency System and is currently under review. The site is served by pump station number 04-062, which is in okay status. During a staff review of the records, it was noted that a mutual reciprocal access agreement was recorded with Miami-Dade County Clerk of Courts on June 4th, 2003. This agreement established a joint use ingress and egress for vehicular access between the rear parking areas of the properties located at 250 East 49th Street and 258 East 49th Street, the subject property. The agreement runs with the land and must be released prior to proceeding with the proposed redevelopment. Given that the residential office land use designation is becoming obsolete, the proposed amendment to medium-density residential will continue to serve as an appropriate buffer while promoting a more efficient use of the land and supporting the city efforts to address housing needs. Staff finds that the proposed land use amendment from residential office to medium-density residential is consistent with the city comprehensive plan and zoning objectives, and the request supports infill redevelopment, promotes compatible land use transitions, and encouraged reinvestment along East 49th Street corridor. Therefore, staff recommends approval of the land use amendment.
Thank you.
Thank you. And as everybody can note, staff has done a fabulous job on this application, as they always do. And I wanted to thank them for all the work that they've done on our application. And I'm proud to be able to stand before you this evening and indicate that we've earned their recommendation of approval. So the property, as was indicated, was built in 1950. It's about ready to celebrate its 75th anniversary of the home that was built there. My client purchased the property in 2006. As staff indicated, it comprises a little bit less than 7,000 square feet. And if you go to the next slide, you can see on the survey, we have provided an as-built survey. It currently has the medical office building, which originally was built as a single-family home and was converted to commercial use, as staff indicated, throughout the years. It currently has 7 parking spaces that accommodate that medical office use, abutting the 80-foot right-of-way of 49th Street. It's completely paved. There is no pervious area that currently exists on that property, which contributes to that heat island effect that we have all been experiencing. If you go to the next slide, you can see a picture of the actual property as it currently exists today, with the medical frontage sign and one of the parking spaces that gets utilized when clientele visits the property. And you can also see the 80-foot right-of-way and the development trend that's occurred over the past 75 years along 49th Street, which has become obsolete and overcrowded, as staff has mentioned. If you go to the next slide, on the right-hand side of the pictorial exhibit, you see the proposed development. And the proposed development, as staff indicated, is 3 stories. It is 6 units in its entirety. It has balconies that face 49th Street. It has art in public places with the decorative mural that we're proposing that should help to increase the beautification of the area. The next slide. This shows the ground floor site plan and shows how we are going to include pervious area, a lot of pervious area, which should soften the aesthetic quality of the neighborhood, but also help out with all the environmental conditions that go along with having no landscaping whatsoever. If you go to the next slide, the next slide provides a typical layout of each of the units, and you can see it's intended for either a single person, young professional, or somebody who's starting out in life, maybe a small family. And if you go to the next slide, you'll see how it is a low-rise development proposal. And that low-rise has been done in addition to the other benefits associated with the application, the transition. between the 80-foot right-of-way and the additional development to our south. The next slide just shows that we are providing standard parking spaces. We're not asking for any type of relief on types of parking. We're going to have more parking on site than what it currently exists. And the final slide. The final slide just goes into our request in order to facilitate this development proposal. Some of those are going to come up later in the evening, but we're asking for approximately 7 requests. And I'll walk through each of those later on as appropriate. But for the land use component, we started off again with residential in that area. Over the years, this can converted. At times, the medical office industry was necessary for that community. But as we all know, there's a residential housing crisis that we're all experiencing, and with the prices of rental rates. And to add additional 6 units to this property, I think would spur future development, would be beneficial. And again, I just want to thank staff for their hard work and their analysis with this project. And I'm available to answer any questions.
I do have a couple of questions.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind.
Yes, sir.
Is this an accurate rendering of what you're proposing to have? Should this be, or whenever you start construction?
The answer is yes. Although the mural is something that's going to be subject to staff's determination and the artist's interpretation, but generally the answer is yes.
Yeah. No, it's appealing. Okay. Question number 2 is obviously you're going to have parking in the bottom.
Yes, sir. Covered parking.
Is the bottom floor going to be all parking, or is there going to be any living units in there?
No living units. There will be a lobby and the mechanical equipment, and everything else will be the parking.
Okay. And these will be rental units?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Those are my questions. Anyone else?
To the chair.
Yes.
I had the same question he has. Is this an actual image of what we're going to see? Because this landscaping looks pretty lush compared to what we're seeing right now. It's like barren.
Yeah, there is zero landscaping.
Yeah,
But
This is very, very nicely landscaped
thank you.
according to the picture.
The answer is yes. We have to comply with your city requirements for landscaping, which has been beefed up over the years. And yeah, we've hired a landscape architect, and this is an accurate representation of what it would look like.
Through the chair,
Yes.
and in addition to that, even though this is just the land use and in the zoning application, we're going to hear more in detail. For the last few months, if an application requires a reduction of pervious area or landscaping, we are asking all these applications to mitigate for the landscaping. If the code requires that you have, for example, 10 trees on site and you only can meet 7, you will have to mitigate. What that means is our landscaping architect and our Parks Recreation department will tell you this is the location that we want those 3 extra trees, and that is where you will have to plant it.
Okay.
So we are mitigating the loss if they don't have the proper area where to plant it on site.
My next question,
Yes, sir.
will this have an elevator?
Yeah, it will have an
So
elevator. Yes,
so
sir.
It's going to have handicap accessible. Right.
Through the chair. Is the future of this area gonna look like this? It's just such a different structure compared to everything else that's there.
For the trends that I have seen, the type of applications that we have seen, even the commercial areas is changing to this type of things, low-rise development, whether it is residential or commercial. It is basically that trend that we see it along 49th Street in certain areas, except for the nodes where you have a more intense, commercial area towards the Palmetto or in other intersections.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if you notice that for the most part, that whole area there on 49th Street, it's all old single-family homes that have been converted to residential offices. And to me, I think they've lived their useful life.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're still useful, but I like this. I wouldn't mind seeing a few more of those popping up.
I think you're going to see one very shortly this
Okay.
evening.
Right. Anyone else? Anyone in the audience have a comment or questions? All right, closes the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve.
So we had a motion from Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item has been approved.
Thank you very much.
OU2, small scale map amendment from residential office to medium density residential. Properties located at 267 East 49th Street, highly zoned are all residential office district. Applicant, William W. Riley Esquire on behalf of GACO Enterprises, Inc.
You gotta do
Yes, sir.
the honors again.
For the record, Bill Riley with offices located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, Homestead, Florida.
Thank you.
The property on this application is located on the north side of East 49th Street at the mid-block between East 2nd Avenue and East 4th Avenue. The lot was platted in 1953 according to ordinance number 759 for a lot size of 60 feet wide and 146 feet deep. Therefore, the lot was developed as a single-family home in 1954 according to Miami-Dade County records, and in 1986 according to ordinance number 86-104, a rezoning was approved from R1, one family district, to R4, residential office, allowing for the use to be amended in accordance to the changes along the 49th Street. Our city records also reflect that the property has been operating as a residential office since 1996 with a medical office. Surrounding the property, the following land uses are presented: low-density residential to the north, residential office to the east, west, and south. This application proposes amending the land use designation from residential office to medium-density residential. The current residential office category was originally intended to buffer the low-density residential neighbors from major roadways and more intense commercial uses. The proposed medium-density residential category serves as a similar transitional function, but allows for an increased residential density and building height. As previously noted, one of the primary reasons for establishing the residential office land use category was to address increased vehicular circulation along 49th Street. According to the Florida Department of Transportation, FDOT, this segment of 49th Street carries approximately 44,500 vehicles per day, based on the average annual daily traffic count. This equates to an average of roughly 30 vehicles per minute, assuming an even distribution throughout the day. Since the residential office land use designation is becoming obsolete, the proposed amendment to medium-density residential will continue to serve the buffering function while allowing for a more appropriate and efficient use of the land. The proposal for this application is for a low-rise residential project with 10 units. The proposal has been submitted to the Miami-Dade County Public School Concurrency System and is awaiting analysis. This area is served by pump station number 04-062 and is in okay status, and final capacity and impact will be processed during site plan. In addition, the project is required to go over concurrency review for parks, police, and infrastructure services and pay all impact fees at site plan. According to the above analysis, the lot is compatible with receiving a medium-density residential designation. Staff recommends approval for the land use amendment.
Thank you. Mr. Riley, we had a little question here because were you sworn in when you came in?
So I was not sworn in, but I am an attorney, so I'm an officer of the court. So I'm under oath, but I'm happy to be sworn in as well.
It's painless.
Yes, sir.
Good.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board?
I do.
There you go, see?
Thank you.
No pain, no gain. Thank you.
So, Mr. Chairman, a moment ago, I told you you're going to see another one just in a moment. This is it. So if we go to the PowerPoint presentation, this is directly across the street. It's actually the same end users, different client, only because it's a different special purpose entity that owns the property, but the same individuals that own it. They purchased this one earlier in 1998. And it is also approaching its 75th year of anniversary of construction. It's a little bit larger at almost 9,000 square feet. And then if you go to the next slide, you'll see the as-built survey. This one has a little bit of pervious area. In the front, there is a patch of grass. And when I say patch, it's probably less area than in front of the bar here. We are going to improve that by a significant amount. It currently has 9 surface parking spaces. We're going to have more. It abuts the same 80-foot right of way, and it also contributes to the same heat island effects. And if you go to the next slide very quickly, I'll try to rush this through. This is a picture of the existing medical office that's there. And you'll see there's a little storage structure in the rear, but parking is in the front and in the back, and you'll see the patch of grass in the front there, but everything else is asphalt. If you go to the next slide, this provides our site plan that shows the pervious area, but also shows the footprint of the building. How, again, this one will be covered parking just like the previous application. We will have the parking in addition to the lobby area that I mentioned that was similar to the previous application. The next slide. This shows you the elevation, which is very similar to our previous application. Same style. This one is proposed to have 10 residential units because the lot is a little bit larger and can accommodate the additional units. Go to the next slide. It's the same elevation with the height and the massing that we presented a moment ago, and it'll provide the same type of development trend that we were discussing, as well as the transition with regard to uses. Next slide. This slide just shows our typical floor plan layout with a typical residential, same type of clientele is the people that we are intending to serve. It will also be rental. Because we're having the 10 units later on in the day, I'll be discussing the unit sizes. Next slide. Just also wants to make sure that the board understands that we're complying with the city's requirements on parking dimensions, parking stall size, and we're not asking for any relief associated with that. And the final slide. The final slide goes through each of our requests, and it's very, very similar to the previous application. There's about 8 requests on this one, and later on in the day, I'll go through those in more detail. I thank you for your time. I'm available to answer any questions.
Thank you, sir. Obviously, it should go without saying that the existing buildings on both properties will be
Yes, sir.
demolished and then built from
Completely.
the ground up.
Yes, sir.
Good. I like the design. As far as the murals is concerned, I'm okay with it. I don't know about the board, but I'm sure that you and your client and staff will come up with a happy medium somewhere. I'm okay with it.
Your staff will make sure we do a good job.
Yeah.
I'm confident.
Let me warn you. There's an issue with orange and yellow colors.
Uh-oh. Okay, good to know.
There's
I thought you were gonna say orange and blue for the Florida Gators.
Yeah,
I
well,
wasn't sure.
Anyway, comments or questions? All right, anyone in the audience? All right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Okay, we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Morales. Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes,
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Item has been approved.
Thank you again.
I like the trend.
Thank you.
Item number 1. Oh.
Wait a minute, this closes the land use part of the meeting where we'll now migrate on to planning and zoning.
Item
Sorry.
number 1. Approval of Planning and Zoning Board Summary Agenda of October 15, 2025 as submitted.
Motion to approve?
Second the motion.
So we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes,
Item has been approved. A written decision and resolution will be prepared and presented for review to the City Council. The City Council is authorized to affirm with conditions, or override the decisions by resolution. After the resolution is adopted, contact a member of the City Clerk's office to obtain a copy of the final decision and resolution. Upon your receipt of the final decision and resolution, contact the building department to obtain your required building permit. Summary minutes or copy of the audio file of the proceedings before the Planning and Zoning Board shall be prepared and submitted to the City Council before its hearing. The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, December 9th, 2025. Item number 2, final decision to allow rear setback of 8.5 feet where 20 feet are required for a proposed aluminum terrace. Property is located at 6120 East 4th Avenue, Hialeah Zoned R1, One Family District. Applicant, Joel Gonzalez and George Figueredo Alcolea.
Gonzalez Figueredo. Are they there? They're here? Okay, what is the,
So
should we table this or?
this item is, it's recommended as approved with conditions, and since the applicant's not here.
Yeah, they
I-
have
Miss-
conditions, yeah, let's,
The conditions, yeah, so.
let's go ahead. You want to just read the address for the record and then we can
Yeah, I mean,
suggest the table.
sure. So the address is 6120 East 4th Avenue.
Okay, and table. Or postpone it?
If you table it, it means that you will. But tabling the item means you'll bring it back sometime during the meeting.
Sometime in the 19th or?
No, today. Tabling the item, you bring it back today. Postponing it, you postpone it to a different meeting.
Will they,
Just, can we say it in Spanish? Los dueños de la casa, de la propiedad en el 6120 East 4 Avenida, ¿no están acá? ¿No? Señor Joel González, ¿no está acá?
do
Okay.
we expect them here tonight or? Okay, let's do this. Can we postpone it until the end of the meeting and then come back to it? And if they're not here, we can table it.
You either table or postpone. You can't postpone till the end of the meeting. You can table to the end of the meeting, or you postpone to another date certain.
We'll motion to table to the end of the meeting.
Second the motion.
Okay, so
Okay.
I have a motion by Mr. Rio, a second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Morales,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Rio,
Yes.
Mr. Mason, Mrs. Enriquez.
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item has been tabled.
So just if they don't show up, you still need to call the item back to take action on the
To
item.
take action and put, right. And then even if it means tabling till the next meeting or?
Postponing till the next meeting.
Okay.
So item number 3. Final decision to allow rear setback of 17 feet where 20 feet are required, and to allow an interior east side setback of 5.34 feet where 6 feet are required for a proposed addition. Property is located on 90 West 64th Street, Hialeah Zoned R1, One Family District. Applicant, Salvador Sastre, Margarita Sastre, and Lourdes Sastre.
They're here. Okay. Name and address, please.
My name is Margarita Sastre and the address is 90 West 64th Street.
Thank you.
The property in this application is located on the south side of West 64th Street between Palm Avenue and West 2nd Avenue. The lot is approximately 6,300 square feet or 0.14 acres. The site is improved with a 1,694 square foot single-family home originally built in 1953 according to Miami-Dade County property appraisal records. The property is designated as low-density residential on the city's future land use map. The zoning classification is R1, One Family District, which is consistent therewith. The applicant is before the city requesting approval of a proposed 985 square feet addition that provides a rear setback of 17 feet where 20 feet are required, and an interior east side setback of 5.34 feet where 6 feet are required. The proposed addition includes 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a corridor, a living room, and a laundry room. Based on the submitted floor plans, one of the proposed bedrooms contains a study nook that encroaches into the east side setback, resulting in one of the setback adjustment requested under this application. A review of the city's microfilm records indicates that the original residence was constructed as a two-bedroom, one-bedroom home. Subsequently, a building permit was issued under permit number 1981-2194 for the addition of a TV room and study room at the rear of the property. In 2022, the TV room and study room were converted into one bedroom and bathroom under permit number 2022-6025. The site meets and exceeds the minimum pervious area requirements of 30%, approximately 1,990 square feet. Given that the required rear setback is 20 feet and the required side setback is 6 feet, and the proposed addition provides a rear setback of 17 feet and an east side setback of 5.34 feet, staff finds that the reduced rear and side setback dimensions do not negatively impact the adjacent properties. The structure is not built up to the property line and remains compatible with the surrounding neighborhood. Additionally, the property continues to exceed the minimum required pervious area. Staff recommends approval of the request subject to the following condition: that the property owner must provide a signed and notarized declaration of use confirming that the property shall be used exclusively as a single-family home residence. No additions or improvements shall alter the property's uses as a single-family dwelling, and only one kitchen shall be maintained on the premises consistent with the R1 zoning regulations. Staff recommends approval with that condition.
Thank you. Any comments or questions? Do you understand the recommendations and the conditions they're putting forth?
Yeah.
You agree with them?
Yeah.
One kitchen,
Yeah.
no additions,
We're all family.
one family.
One family. Three siblings and a niece, my niece. Yeah.
Good deal. Comments or questions on the board? Anyone in the audience? Right, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion.
Motion.
To approve with condition?
Second with conditions.
So we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Morales. Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mr. Mason,
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Item has been approved with condition.
Thank you so much.
You know, your last name reminds me of my uncle
Oh, really?
because he was a sastre.
Sastre?
Not because of his last name, but because of his
Oh, Taylor.
Taylor. There you go. Good night.
The Planning and Zoning Board recommendations for the following public hearing requests will be heard by the City Council at a scheduled meeting of Tuesday, November 18th, 2025. Item number 4, amendments to City of Hialeah Ordinance Number 2023-124 to permit a 5-story multifamily development with 52 residential units instead of an 8-story multifamily development with 48 residential units. Repealing variances to allow 17% of the units with an area of 692 square feet, where 850 square feet is the minimum required, and only 10% of the units may have an area of 600 square feet. And waive the building mass and building frontage development standards. Variance permit to allow 48 multifamily units, 92% with an area of less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of the residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. To allow 12% pervious area, where 30% is the minimum required. To allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow the mitigation of 6 parking spaces as per section 98-1579-7. Properties located at 1116 Palm Ave, Hialeah Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, within the Neighborhood Business District Overlay, NBD. Applicant 1116 Property Holdings, OZ, LLC.
Name and address, please.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for having us. Jose Cueto, 850 Northwest 42nd Avenue, Suite 310, Miami, Florida, 33126, on behalf of 116 Property Holdings.
Thank you, sir.
Chair, board, I'm sorry.
The property in this application is located at the northwest intersection of Palm Avenue between West 11th Street and West 12th Street. The parcel consists of approximately 32,400 square feet or 0.74 acres. The site was previously improved with a car sale lot, a 2-story commercial residential building, and a mechanic shop, all constructed between 1925 and 1966. However, in 2023, the property was demolished under permit number BLDC-010823-2024, leaving the land vacant. The property is designated as a commercial on the city city's future land use map and is currently Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, and is also within the extended Hialeah Downtown Urban Center District overlay. The surrounding land uses and zoning includes low and medium density residential zone R2 and R3 to the north, medium density residential and commercial zone R3, R31, and C2 to the east, medium density residential and central business district zone C2, R3, R31, and CR to the south, and medium density residential zone R3 to the west. The property was granted a special use permit under City Ordinance number 2023-124, adopted on December 12, 2023, approving the expansion of the neighborhood business district overlay. The ordinance also approved variances allowing for smaller site residential units that were permitted by the overlay. Additional variances were granted to waive building mass and building frontage development standards. Consequently, the approved redevelopment consisted of an 8-story mixed-use building, including 9,700 square feet of ground floor commercial space and 48 residential units containing 8 one-bedroom units and 40 two-bedroom units. The proposal also complied with the parking requirements at the time of approval. The Neighborhood Business District (NBD) regulations were amended pursuant to Ordinance number 2025-004, adopted on January 28, 2025. The amendments directly affecting these requests include revisions to the minimum residential unit size standard, the percentage of units permitted to contain less than the required minimum square footage, and modifications to the off-street street parking requirements. In addition, a waiver of the building mass and building frontage development standard is not longer required under the amended regulations. The applicant is before the city requesting a modification to the approved ordinance to permit the development of a 5-story multifamily building with 52 residential units, therefore decreasing the height and increasing the density of the project, in place of the previously approved 8-story and 48 multifamily buildings. As part of this request, the applicant seeks to repeal the previously granted variances that allowed 17% of the units to have an area of 692 square feet, where a minimum of 850 square feet is required, and permitted up to 10% of the units with an area of 600 square feet, as well as the waiver of building mass and building frontage development standards. The amended proposal now requires approvals of new variances to allow the 48 multifamily units, 92% with an area of less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and to permit up to 25% of the residential units with a minimum area of 500 square feet. Additional variances are requesting to allow a 12% pervious area, where 30% is the minimum required, to allow a partial waiver of minimum landscaping requirements through the landscaping mitigation of per section 98-2235, and to mitigate 6 parking spaces in accordance with section 98-15797 of the City Code ordinances. The amended proposal, Front Palm Avenue, and according to the submitted plans, include a 553.87 square foot lobby, a 1,244 square feet fitness centers, and a 822 square foot club room. The ground level also features a package room, mail room, bike room, trash room, management and leasing offices, 2 stairwells, 2 elevators, and a rentable storage room. In addition, the site plan depicts 3 bike racks along Palm Avenue. Floors 2 through 5 consist entirely of 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom units, each with a balcony. Parking is provided at the surface of the rear of the building, screened from Palm Avenue, with a total of 52 parking spaces, including 3 ADA compliant spaces. The site plan further depicts a covered terrace located on the northeast side of the property. The applicant is requesting a unit size variance in response to the high demand for housing. In an email sent on October 27, 2025, the applicant stated that 100% of the units will be designated as a workforce housing, offered at 140% of the area median income, AMI. The requested variances are expected to have a minimal impact in the surrounding properties, as the building complies with all the required setback dimensions, and to address the reduction in pervious area, the project will incorporate an on-site drainage system. In addition, because the property is located within the extended Hialeah Downtown Urban Center, the applicant may provide a one-time monetary contribution of $5,000 per parking space not provided on site as permitted by code. These funds may then be allocated by the city towards off-site parking improvements within the ad hoc area. As previously noted, the project is requesting a modification to the approved ordinance which was originally granted under the former MBD incentive points regulations. Under the revised MBD regulations, the applicant is now proposing the following incentive points to achieve compliance. The parking located in the rear, blocked from the street view, allows them for 1 point. Implementation of transportation and multimodal improvements, 2 points. Public open space such as terraces, 0.5 points, and permanent artwork displayed at the street level, 0.5 points. The total number of incentive 4 points is sufficient to meet the proposed height and density requirements under the new MBD regulations. And to address the transportation and multimodal improvement incentive points, the applicant has been coordinating with the city street departments and the Miami-Dade Department of Transportation and Public Works, DTPW, to obtain approval for the proposed crosswalks at Palm Avenue and 11th Street, as well as a mid-block crossing across Palm Avenue. These improvements aim to enhance pedestrian safety and provide a safe connection between the proposed 5-story building and the existing shopping centers to the east. Additionally, while the applicant has proposed artwork as part of the point calculation, the submitted plans do not depict such improvement. Accordingly, the site plan must be revised to include the proposed improvements in order for the applicant to receive such incentive points. Therefore, based on the applicant's request, the staff recommends the following condition. Enter into a declaration of restriction to develop the site according to plans digitally signed by Robert K. Morissette, AIA, dated September 9, 2025, with revisions made as stated above, and that the applicant submits a one-time parking mitigation of $30,000 for 6 parking spaces at the time of site plan and concurrency process, and that the applicant submits a one-time landscaping mitigation payment, the amount in which will be calculated during the site plan and concurrency review process, and that the applicant obtained approval for the proposed north-south crosswalk at Palm Avenue and 11th Street, and continue the approval process for the mid-block crossing across Palm Avenue from the street department and DTPW, and that the 100% of the units are designated as work for housing, offering 140% of the area median income, AMI, and show the proposed artwork on the site plan and rendering in order to receive the incentive points. With the following, staff recommends approval with the conditions.
Have a drink.
Can you translate that to Spanish, please?
Do you have a copy of the conditions or?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we do.
Okay, wow. Thank you. You have the floor.
Through the chair, board members, thank you. Thank you again for having us, and to staff for the comprehensive review and recommendation of this project. As you may recall, about a month ago, we were before you,
Right.
where this board voted unanimously to approve the application. The reason we are here again this evening is as a result of a Scrivener's error on the part of our team, our architect, that had misrepresented the impervious area. And so, as the director noted, this is a 52-unit workforce housing project in the downtown of Hialeah, the core, just down the street from here. It's along a transit way, a bus stop in front of the property. It's being designed as such and providing those multimodal improvements that were mentioned by the director and her team. And really, the request is to allow for a lesser impervious area, specifically 12%. It bears to note that in addition to the impervious area being provided on site, we are meeting the landscape requirements that the city has put forth along Palm Avenue in having canopy trees lining the sidewalk. And as a result, we feel that it's a major improvement over what's there today, and will add much needed workforce and affordable housing to the residents of Hialeah. And thank you again for your consideration this evening.
Thank you. Comments or questions?
Through the chair.
Yes.
As a matter of confirmation, Mr. Cuoto, how are you related to the applicant?
To the applicant,
To the property owner?
to the property owner, we are the owner's rep and development support team for the owner, Mr. Herrera of 116 Property Holdings.
Have you registered as a lobbyist for this application?
No, we have not. Not for this specific application.
Not this for this specific, okay.
No, but we are affiliated with ownership. So as a result, it was our understanding, director, that there's not a requirement to register as a result, as principal and partner.
Do we have the lobbyist? We don't have the complete application here. When you have the disclosure of the application.
But Jose, you're not an owner of 1116 Property Holdings LLC.
Not currently, not on Sunbiz.
No,
No,
no.
not currently. No.
Yeah, you definitely have to register as a lobbyist.
Okay, may the item be heard without comment or speaking, in that it's coming back for
Eh.
consideration?
You just can't agree to the conditions. That's the issue.
Understood.
Yeah.
And there's a handful of them.
Yeah, no, and there is confirmation from ownership, of course, in writing that those conditions are
So
agreed to.
is anybody here? Is Ivan Herrera? Is anybody here?
We can bring them in telephonically or on Zoom if necessary.
Do you have any ownership in First Loyal OZ Fund?
No,
No.
do not.
Well, somebody, I mean, they need to agree to the conditions.
Okay.
Either Ivan Herrera, Luis Castro, or Anya Herrera,
Okay, could that be
or
done?
somebody who owns First Loyal OZ Fund.
Could that be done, Mr. Attorney, if this item were to be tabled, if the board and the chair would agree?
Yeah, I don't mind if they appear on Zoom.
Okay, perfect.
We need to see them to swear them in.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
sure. And you'll need to register before council if you.
And this was only because our land, just for the record,
Yeah.
if I may, our land use council was out of town traveling.
Yeah, okay.
Mr. Mestre, he'll be back for first reading
Oh, so I actually think Caesar did register for
He
this.
did in fact register, yes, and he was here in representation last meeting.
Yeah, okay. If you can get somebody
We
on
will,
the
absolutely.
table, and then we can move on.
Absolutely, and if staff could just help in providing that Zoom link, if possible, we'll get ownership. Thank you, thank you again, Chair and Board.
So if we can get a motion table in a second.
Table.
Okay, so we had a motion, give me 1 second, let me look for the item. Motion to table by Mr. Yua, second by Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Mason, Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez,
Yes.
Mr. Yua,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Item has been tabled.
Okay, so
Okay, so item number 5 has already been heard. Item number 6.
He has to come up.
venga aquí un momentico. Okay, en inglés, español.
Español.
Both,
Okay.
both, both.
Both. Okay, both. The item that was in front of us is going to be tabled for later on tonight. Okay. So we're just gonna put it aside and then we'll get back to it. El caso que el cual ustedes están escuchando momentáneamente se ha puesto se ha
hold.
en hold, exacto, porque hay un
problemita.
problema, falta una persona que
Pero yo voy a decir dos cosas que van a poner más peso a ese proyecto.
okay, pero el problema es que ese caso se ha puesto on hold en este momentito. Hasta si no hoy, se va a ir hoy mismo, no se vaya.
Ajá.
Entonces, cuando se vuelva a abrir, por favor, usted diga lo que tenga que decir.
Ok.
Pero por el momento el caso está estacionario.
Estacionado.
Ok.
Tengo dos acotaciones aquí importantes porque soy residente de ahí.
Okay, basically, just he was just wanting to know, say a few things about the item. So told him that it's on hold and he'll come back. So usted verá que regresa ahora y lo hablamos más tarde. Okay.
Item number 6. Rezoning property from RO Residential Office District to R33 Multiple Family District. Special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District overlay in relation to a proposed multifamily development, including 6 residential units. Variance permit to allow residential use only where mixed use is required. To allow a front setback of 6.5 feet where 10 feet built to line are required for the balconies fronting East 49th Street. To allow 10.57% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. To allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow 9 parking spaces where 10 parking spaces are required. Property is located at 258 East 49th Street, highly zoned RO Residential Office District. Applicant, William W. Riley Esquire, on behalf of Titties Holding LLC.
Once again, Mr. Riley.
Good evening,
To the
Mr.
honor.
Chairman. For the records, Bill Riley with offices located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, Homestead, Florida.
Thank you, sir.
The property in this application is located on the south side of East 49th Street between East 2nd Avenue and East 3rd Avenue. The lot is approximately 6,878 square feet or 0.15 acres. The site is improved with a 1,124 square foot single-family residence built in 1950 that was later converted in 1990 into an office building when it was rezoned from R1, one-family district, to RO, residential office district, under City of Hialeah Ordinance number 1990-46. City record shows that the property has been operating as a dental office since 2020. The property is designated as a residential office on the city's future land use map and is currently zone RO, which is consistent therein. The surrounding land use and zoning includes residential office and commercial, zone RO, R1, and B1, highly restricted commercial to the north, residential office and recreation open space, zone RO and R1 to the east, low-density residential and major institutions, zone R1 to the south, residential office and commercial zone RO, B1, and P, parking district to the west. The applicant is before the city requesting to rezone the property from RO to R33 multifamily districts. A companion land use amendment application has been submitted to change the land use designation from residential office to medium density residential, ensuring consistency between land use and zoning. The intent of the proposed amendment and rezoning is to support a special use permit, SUP, for the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District NBD overlay in connection with a proposed multifamily development consisting of 6 residential units. The applicant is also requesting a variance parking to allow residential use only where mixed use is required, to allow a front setback of 6.5 feet where 10-foot built-to line is required for balconies fronting East 49th Street, to allow 10.57% of pervious area where 30% is the minimum required, to allow a partial waiver of minimum landscaping requirements through landscaping mitigation, and to allow 9 parking spaces where 10 are required. According to the submitted plans, the proposed project consists of 3-story multifamily building where a ground floor is designed for parking, providing a total of 9 parking spaces, including 1 ADA compliant space. This level also includes a trash room, lobby with pedestrian access from 49th Street and from the interior parking areas, a mailroom, and a designated bicycle storage area at the rear of the property. The second floor proposes 3 residential units, 2 with 2 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, and 1 with 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. The third floor mirrors the second floor layout with 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom unit for a total of 6 residential units across the building. The requested variants are anticipated to have a minimal impact on surrounding properties. The proposed building complies with all the required setback dimensions with the exemptions of the balconies fronting East 49th Street, which encroach into the front setback. Staff does not find the encroachments as negatively impacting the properties surrounding, as the balcony faces a major roadway rather than neighboring properties. To mitigate the reduction in pervious area, the project will include an on-site drainage system. Based on the submitted plans, the proposal meets the parking requirements per residential units. However, 1 additional space is required for guest parking. Staff supports the variance request as the site provides sufficient on-site parking for residents, and the minor deficiency is not expected to adversely affect the traffic circulation or neighboring properties. Additionally, the site location is within an established urban area with convenient pedestrian access to commerce and educational facilities, and it facilitates connection to public transportation and nearby services, which further reduce parking demand. As noted in the land use amendment application, a staff review of city and county records revealed that a mutual reciprocal access agreement was recorded within Miami-Dade County Clerks of Courts on June 4, 2023. This agreement established a joint use, ingress, and egress for vehicular access between the rear parking areas of the property located at 250 East 49th Street and 258 East 49th Street, the subject property. The agreement runs with the land and must be released prior to proceeding with the proposed redevelopment. Finally, the existing sidewalk along 49th Street will need to be reconstructed to remove the existing curb cut and driveway access during the site plan and concurrency review process. The applicant is proposing the following incentive points in order to achieve the MBD density and high incentive points compliance. A permanent artwork display at art level, 0.5 points, an improved entrance and lobby areas of at least 500 square feet, 0.5, and provide one-time monetary contribution to the Friends of Hialeah of not less than $20,000, 1 point. The total number of incentive points, 2, is sufficient to meet the proposed high-end density requirements under the MBD regulations. Based on the applicant request, staff recommends approval with the following condition. Enter into a declaration of restriction to develop the site according to plans digitally signed and by Eduardo Perez AR dated September 18, 2025, and that the applicant submits a one-time monetary contribution to the Friends of the Hialeah of $20,000 at the time of site plan and concurrency, and that the applicant submits a one-time landscape mitigation payment and the amount which will be calculated during the site plan and concurrency review process, and that the mutual reciprocal access agreement that was recorded with Miami-Dade County Clerk's of Courts in June 4, 2023 be released prior to the proceeding with the proposed redevelopment, and that the existing sidewalk along East 49th Street be reconstructed to remove the existing curb cut and driveway access during the site plan and concurrency review process. Staff recommends approval with the conditions.
Boy, I tell you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I echo your comments. Staff is amazing how much they go through with all those recommendations, but they do a phenomenal job, and I thank them for all the hard work they've done on this application. I won't go through the whole presentation because you've seen it, and I don't want to be redundant. I'm just going to go through the requests very quickly. So one of the requests, we have a few non-use variances. One of the requests is to eliminate commercial. So generally with the requested overlay that we're proposing for this project, you generally have to have commercial. But on this site and with the online craze with Amazon and everything else, commercial is difficult to make a meaningful contribution to the community. It's difficult to lease. It creates additional parking and transient uses and in and out with vehicular traffic. We don't really want any of those complications associated with this project. So we've asked to eliminate the requirement to have commercial. Secondarily, generally you're supposed to have a 10-foot setback between the frontage property line and your balcony. We're asking you for a relief of 3.5 feet. To have a little bit bigger balconies, more meaningful balconies, but also accommodate the footprint we need for the entire project. We're asking for one parking variance, one space parking variance. We're proposing 6 units with 9 parking spaces. We are on a very tight lot. It is a small lot, so it's a feat to try to accommodate all of the requirements and make all the requirements work with a feasible project. Luckily enough, with your staff analysis, the de minimis nature of that parking variance, they were able to support that request. And again, we thank them for working with us on that. And previously, we were talking about the pervious area, and right now we have 0 on the property. We're proposing to have 11%. But in addition to, which is a variance, which is not compliant with your code, but in addition to that, we're going to participate in the mitigation program that staff mentioned a moment ago earlier on in the hearing. We've read the conditions. We understand the conditions. We have registered as lobbyists. I do represent the property owner, and I can confirm to you we have no objection to the conditions, and we accept them all. And with that, I'll answer any questions you may have.
Just a few conditions.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
There are.
All right. Comments or questions?
I have a question that's more to you. The condition of having a commercial space on the bottom floor, is that something that is always being put out to people that they have to put that commercial space?
That is basically a code requirement. if the applicant requests to expand the MBD, basically to be regulated under the MBD district, the code requires to have either an active ground floor or a commercial area. It requires for mixed use. In this case, they are requesting not to have commercial in the ground floor, and which staff in this case, because of the size of the building and the location of the building, we agree with that request.
Anyone else? Anyone in the audience have comment questions? Okay, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with
Second.
conditions?
With conditions.
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Iglesias, second by Mr. Morales. Mr. Mason, Mr. Perez,
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez.
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias.
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Item number 7.
I see somebody on. Are you ready to go back? Okay. So if we can remove
Item number 4.
4.
Item number 4.
Motion
Motion.
to remove from table?
Second?
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Ulloa, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Mason, Mr. Iglesias,
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez.
Yes.
Mr. Morales.
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa,
Yes.
Mr. Perez.
Yes.
Item has been removed from table.
So Anya will need to turn her camera on because Florida law requires that we see her. Iselis will give her the oath.
Yes. Yes, I'm here. Yes.
There you are.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening.
Can you raise your right hand, please?
Yes.
Raise your hand.
Go ahead.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board?
Yes, I swear.
Okay, so Claudia, if you just want to reread the
Okay.
not the whole thing, the conditions
Got it.
into the record, so that she can agree to the conditions on the record.
Since you are an authorized representative of co-owner, if you will.
She's one of the managers
One of the
of
managers.
Yes.
1116 Property Holdings OZ LLC.
Okay.
So related to the property located at 1116 Palm Avenue, staff is recommending the following conditions. Enter into a declaration of restrictions to develop the site according to plans digitally signed by Robert K. Morissette, AIA, dated September 9, 2025, with revisions made as stated in the staff report, and that the applicant submit a one-time parking mitigation amount of $30,000 for 6 parking spaces at the site planned at the time of site plan and concurrency process, and that the applicant submits a one-time landscape mitigation payment, the amount in which will be calculated during the site plan and concurrency review process, that the applicant obtain approval for the proposed north-south crosswalk at Palm Avenue and 11th Street, and continue the approval process for the mid-block crossing across Palm Avenue from the street department and DTBW, and that 100% of the units are to be designated as work for housing offered at 140% of the area median income, AMI, and that show the proposed artwork on the site plan and rendering in order to receive the incentive points. Staff recommends approval with those conditions.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
she proffers to the conditions. She accepts the conditions for the record. So if you have any questions or you want to open up the public hearing.
Yeah, we do have a gentleman that wants to speak on. Suggestion would be make sure that you have a copy of the conditions. 'cause
Absolutely. Mr.
They're
Chair.
lengthy, so that way that she can go over them and understand them also. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We do and we have, and yes, ownership is cognizant of the conditions.
Okay, now, do we have any comments or questions on this item? No? Okay, there is a gentleman on the audience that would like to name and address, please. Nombre y dirección.
Gracias.
Primero, perdóneme. Primero, como que hay que traducirlo, usted diga un poquito, se le traduce, regresamos, así ve para...
Correcto, para que todo el mundo entienda.
Exacto.
Bien,
Nombre y dirección.
mi nombre es Jesús Enrique Bonet.
¿Qué?
Vivo en 25 West 11 Street. Soy vecino del proyecto.
His name is Jesus Enrique
Ajá. Y Bonet es el last name.
Bonet.
Ajá.
Ok, es el vecino de la propiedad.
Yo soy vecino de la propiedad. Inicialmente,
Inglés, en inglés.
Sorry. He's the neighbor of the property. I'm so sorry.
He's never across the street, yeah.
inicialmente el proyecto era de 8 pisos y se convierte ahora en 5 por problemas urbanísticos.
Initially, the project was 8 floors and now it's 5 floors.
Veo que inicialmente eran 48 unidades y ahora son 52. O sea, bajó el piso y creció en unidades.
Okay. Before the project was 48 residential units, and now they're requesting 52 residential units. So the floors went down from 8 to 5,
Ajá.
but now more units are being included.
Entonces, al haber más unidades, quiere decir que son más pequeñas.
So that means that the units are a lot smaller.
Si son más pequeñas, su valor es menos.
¿Puedes repetir?
Si son pequeñas, el valor es
Ok.
menos.
So if the units are smaller, their value is less.
Es less.
The
Yo
price.
lo estoy mirando para ver los comparables de mi casa con relación a eso.
He's looking at it in the way of that he can compare the prices to his home price.
En cada proyecto que hagamos en la ciudad, yo llevo 28 años viviendo en Hialeah.
For every project that we do in the city, he's been living in the city for 28 years.
Y he estado de acuerdo con todos los gobiernos que han estado.
And he's always
Y
been
confío en ustedes.
okay with all the governments.
En cada proyecto hay que tener 3 beneficiados.
And all the projects have to have 3 beneficiaries:
El gobierno,
the government,
los desarrolladores inversionistas
the developers,
y los residentes.
and the residents.
Si se cumplen esas 3, yo estoy de acuerdo con el proyecto.
If
So-
those 3 are okay, he's okay with the project.
Y se acabó el primer punto. Vamos al segundo.
And that was the first topic. Now was the second.
Mi unidad 25 West
His unit, 25 West,
es adyacente al terreno.
he's right next to the land, to the property.
Cuando empezaron a demoler
When they started demolishing,
Just give him 2 minutes.
el taller, el edificio de departamento que había ahí y el dealer,
okay, when they started demolishing the dealership,
mi apartamento
his apartment
empezó a tener filtración.
started having issues.
Yo lo acoté con la asociación y vinieron los albañiles y repararon la ventana, que era por donde entraba el agua.
He called his association and
In the winter,
The maintenance people.
the maintenance people came and fixed it,
ajá.
fixed the filtration.
Pero los albañiles cuando fueron dijeron, las paredes están rajadas. Los vecinos empezaron a quejarse
But when the maintenance people came,
que
they told
tenían
them
filtraciones.
that the structure was damaged and there was a filtration.
Entonces, todavía no han hecho ninguna excavación
They still haven't done
en el
much
nuevo proyecto
for the new project,
y ahí parquean unos camiones.
and some trucks are parked there.
Cuando ellos arrancan, ponen buen ruido en toda la unidad.
And there's a lot of noise when the
Pero además de los
trucks turn on.
camiones, hay unos equipos pesados, excavadoras, que cuando se mueven de lado, no para excavar, sino para correrse, mi unidad vibra.
Says that the other type of equipment there, when they move around, his unit vibrates.
Abro la ventana porque si es la vibración del aire, está bien, y para que corra de norte a sur, o de este a oeste.
He opens his window so that the air
la
can run from
vibración
west to
sigue.
east and the vibration continues.
Ya las rajaduras están selladas porque no hay filtraciones. Por aquí creo que hay un vecino. Ya no hay filtraciones de agua.
The structure was fixed and there's no
Están
water
tapadas
filtration
las
anymore.
rajaduras. Al principio
co-
la asociación dijo que era que la sedimentación del edificio estaba corriendo no sé cuántos milímetros por año. Pero si empiezan las excavaciones duras, son 5 pisos, son 5 pisos de apartamentos, son 5 pisos de parqueo. Los
But when-
dados y la profundidad tienen que ser grandes.
But when the excavations begin,
Gracias.
it's 5 floors and it's gonna get worse.
Gracias. The trucks, the heavy equipment are going to be there for the construction. Los camiones, los equipos pesados van a estar para la construcción. Ellos no van a vivir ahí. They're not going to stay there.
Claro.
Okay. Is there any way to mitigate the vibrations and si hay alguna forma de mitigar, de eliminar la vibración, el terremoto y eso? El
Ya
señor
es
le va,
parte
él va a aclarar la
Sí,
situación.
yo no quiero irme de Hialeah.
Okay.
Yo no
Pero
quiero irme de Hialeah.
las unidades son de renta, no son de compra.
No, yo soy dueño desde el 2022.
No, las unidades de ellos. El propuesto
Ajá, es venta.
es renta, sí.
Es renta
Renta. Sí, los apartamentos son para renta.
para rentar.
Sí.
No hace venta.
No.
Ok.
Ok.
Pero de todas formas, si se me cae el edificio, voy a perder.
Bueno.
Through the chair.
Y yo no quiero irme de Hialeah.
Okay.
Yo tengo un apartamento pago.
Ok, gracias.
As a matter of clarification also, Chair, I just want to mention, because I think the gentleman mentioned a 5-story, garage and a 5-story building. So, yo escuché que usted mencionó que usted piensa que el desarrollo va a ser 5 pisos de garaje y 5 pisos de edificio. Entonces, le quería aclarar que el proyecto solamente va a tener un parqueo al nivel de piso. No va a haber un garaje. Y desde su propiedad hasta la pared del edificio va a haber aproximadamente 70 pies de distancia. Es decir, que tú no vas a tener el edificio pegado al tuyo, ¿ok? Y solamente las residencias que están sobre Palm Avenue, más cerca de la calle de Palm Avenue, ahí donde van a estar los 5 pisos. Sí.
No, yo espero que no le pase nada a mi edificio. Pero sí lo estoy alertando, por si pasa algo, ya la asociación sabe
Ok.
y la demanda va a ir para arriba.
La recomendación sería, por favor, antes que se termine la noche, pónganse en contacto con el señor, intercambien sus números, get in contact with them, exchange numbers, y manténganse en contacto con él. Okay?
Gracias.
Thank you. Not from back there, but you can come up here. Were you sworn in? Okay.
Yo soy vecina de
Okay. Raise your right hand. Inglés, español.
Español.
Okay.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board? ¿Usted jura o afirma decir la verdad ante esta junta?
Sí.
Okay. Nombre y dirección, por favor.
Mi nombre es Ana Parajón. Yo vivo en la 25 West 11th Street, apartamento 204.
Okay.
Her name is
Estoy-
Ana Parajon, and she lives at 25 West
11th Street.
11th
11th
Street.
Street.
11th Street.
11th Street,
Okay.
apartment
Estoy,
204.
estoy en la misma línea de él. Yo soy vecina de él.
They're neighbors.
Yo lo único que quiero agregar aquí es que yo escuchando que van a tener un parqueo por cada unidad.
What she wants to add is that she's hearing that they're only going to have one parking per unit.
Y como ustedes pueden saber, en cada unidad puede haber 2 personas.
And as you all know, in every unit can be 2 people.
So, lo que yo quiero dar a entender que los parqueos ahí no van a dar abastos, va a haber mucha gente para eso. Tal vez digo yo si pueden hacer menos unidades con más parqueo.
What she wants to say is that the parking is not going to be enough for all the tenants, and she wants to know if more parking could be added.
Eso va a ser una pelea de Hialeah, por todo eso buscando parqueo, todo eso alrededor. y
Everyone around is going to be fighting for parking,
especialmente si son rentados.
especially if they're rentals.
So, eso yo quería para que ustedes tomen en consideración también eso. A ver.
She just wants
qué
you to
pueden hacer.
consider that.
Thank
To see
you.
what you can
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, close the part of public hearing. Jose, would you like to say, mira, antes que se vayan, oiga lo que va a decir.
Thank you, through the chair again, members. I express to the resident our commitment and also the requirement to ensure dust control, vibration monitoring, and be good neighbors with everyone in that area throughout the construction period now and in the future. The application, as you all are cognizant of, and staff as well as through their recommendation, was more intense. It's been reduced in the way of Florida area ratio, lot coverage, height, and a number of other factors that we think is much more compatible with the area. And then this is, of course, the downtown. And so as a result, we think that this project meets the intent of the land use code, the zoning code, and meets your approval. Thank you again for your consideration.
I would say you don't have to, okay? This is my suggestion as a token of goodwill and good faith. Keep in contact with the neighbors.
Absolutely.
You know, let them know what's going on. You know, touch base with them, because at the end of the day, they are going to, whether we like to admit it or not, they're going to be affected by the construction. Keep the peace, okay? Hey, señor, blah, 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 mira, you know, just
Absolutely. Absolutely, Chair.
To the chair.
neighborly.
And I grew up a few blocks away. I'm a Hialeah product, so yes,
Mhm.
understood.
To the residents' point, how are you going to mitigate parking if there are two people?
Member Enriquez, our strategy and objective here is they're all one-bedroom apartments. Today under MBD, the code calls for one space per unit, and we're frankly going to be looking to lease to the elderly and younger tenants that are single occupants and individuals that are going to be using that unit for the purposes of getting around. It is a transit corridor. We are abutting a bus stop. We are actually today we had a meeting with fire on this project, and Rick and the fire marshal mentioned that some of their staff might have an interest in living nearby, especially younger cadets and staff members. And so given that you could walk to City Hall and walk to work, we envision more of that downtown urban context for this project. That's really our vision for it.
Okay. If you can also relate that to the,
I was just gonna say,
resident.
those are important points that they need to,
Yes.
you know, they need to know, they need to feel, because it's going to clear a lot of doubt in their
Yes.
minds.
thank you.
Okay, thank you. Yes, sir.
You can also make a point and get her number and get in contact with her.
Absolutely. We have Mr. Bonillas. We'll get the madam's number.
Please.
Thank you. And count on our commitment, board members, that we will do the right thing.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, that being said, what's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve
Second that motion.
With the conditions.
with conditions.
Okay, so we had a motion by Mr. Morales, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you. Familia, mi recomendación a ustedes y al señor, pónganse en contacto, intercambien comunicación, hablen. ¿Ok? Hablando se resuelven muchas cosas. La misma preocupación del parqueo, mira, él tiene la solución para el parqueo que usted está preocupada por eso. Communication is key between both parties. Communicate, talk, have a dialogue. He has a plan. He has a solution for the parking concerns that the young lady had. Sit down, have a cafecito, you know, talk about it, and you see that you'll be okay. But please communicate. Don't, you know, your neighbors. Okay? Thank you.
Item number 7, rezoning property from RO Residential Office District to R33 Multiple Family District. Special use permit to allow the expansion of the Neighborhood Business District overlay in relation to a proposed multifamily development, including 10 residential units. Variance permit to allow residential use only where mixed use is required. Allow 4 multifamily units 40% with an area less than 700 square feet, where 700 square feet is the minimum required, and only 25% of the residential units may have a minimum area of 500 square feet. To allow a front setback of 6.5 feet or 10 feet built to line are required for the balconies fronting East 49th Street. To allow 10.56% pervious area where 30% is the minimum required. To allow partial waiver of minimum landscape requirements through landscape mitigation as per section 98-2235, and to allow 12 parking spaces where 15 parking spaces are required. Property is located at 267 East 49th Street, Hialeah zoned RO Residential Office District. Applicant, William W. Riley Esquire, on behalf of Caco Enterprises, Inc.
Here we go again. Do the honors, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, For the record, Bill Riley with offices located at 16343 Southwest 256th Street, Homestead, Florida.
Mr. Riley, we do apologize for cutting your items and, chopping them up and, inserting other people in front of
No
you and
worries at all,
stuff.
sir.
Um,
I appreciate it.
that's the nature of the beast.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
The property on this application is located on the north side of East 49th Street at the mid-block between East 2nd Avenue and East 4th Avenue. The lot was platted in 1953 according to ordinance number 759 for a lot size of 60 feet wide and 146 feet deep. Therefore, the lot was developed as a single-family home in 1954 according to Miami-Dade County records. And in 1986, according to ordinance number 86-104, a rezoning was approved from R1, one-family district, to RO, residential office, allowing for the use to be amended in accordance to the changes along the 49th Street. Our city records also reflect that the property has been operating as a residential office in 1996 with a medical office. And surrounding the property, the following land uses are present. Low density residential to the north, residential office to the east, south, and west. And this application is the companion item to the previously reviewed land use amendment request. This application proposes to rezone the property from RO, residential office, to R33, multifamily, and is requesting a special use permit to expand the neighborhood business district, NBD, to permit a 3-story multifamily building with 10 residential units. The proposed structure is to have a small lobby with an elevator and trash room at ground level. Vehicular access is through a double access driveway to a covered parking area of 12 parking spaces and a bike storage towards the rear. The second and third level have a lobby and a common corridor providing access to 5 residential units at each level, and the majority of the units have balconies facing south and east. The rezoning and the special use permit to expand the NBD are requirements that are needed for the redevelopment of the site as a multifamily site. The variants are mainly affecting the project since the balcony is projected into 49th Street and the reduction of the pervious area shall be treated with the property engineer drainage system. The parking variance is requesting 3 parking spaces less than the code requirements, but the project will have sufficient parking for at least 1 parking space per unit. As mentioned in previous applications of a similar nature, the site location is within the established urban area with convenient pedestrian access to commerce and educational facilities, and it facilitates connection to public transportation and nearby services, which further reduce parking demand. The requested variants are anticipated to have a minimal impact on surrounding properties. There is a series of site improvements and coordination that will need to be in place during the site plan and concurrency process. As for example, there is a shared vehicular access with the property to the west. However, no agreement has been found on record, but there is a street light pole within the frontage that might have to be relocated to clear the proposed vehicular driveway. In addition, the project is proposing the following density incentive points to reach the requested density. A permanent artwork displayed at a street level for 0.5 points, improve entrances and lobby areas of at least 500 square feet area, 0.5 points, provide a one-time monetary contribution to the Friends of the High Line for not less than $20,000, 1 point, and a low-rise development with balconies at parking surface, 1 point. The total number of incentive points, 3, is sufficient to meet the proposed density requirements under the NBD regulations. All these incentives are to be provided at site plan and concurrency process. Based on the applicant request, staff recommends approval with the following conditions. Enter into a declaration of restriction to develop the site according to plans digitally signed by Edgardo Perez AR dated September 18, 2025, and that the applicant submits a one-time monetary contributions to the Friends of the High Line of $20,000 at the time of site plan and concurrency process, and that the applicant submits a one-time landscape mitigation payment, the amount of which will be calculated during the site plan and concurrency review process, and that any shared vehicular access agreement or easements are resolved prior site plan and concurrency, and that the existing sidewalk along East 49th Street be reconstructed to remove the existing curb cut and driveway access during the site plan and concurrency review process. Staff recommends approval for the rezoning and SUP and variances with conditions.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing up the point of the share driveway. I know for a fact that there are several, especially up and down 49th Street, there's several of these properties, ROs and whatnot, Case in point,
Yes, sir.
that, they're adjacent to each other and they do share the one driveway for both properties.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad you brought that up, and I'll be happy to entertain your plans for.
Yeah, let me start with answering that question.
Yeah.
So we are, if you drive down 49th Street, you'll see there's a lot of curb cuts. And those curb cuts create vehicular conflicts all the time. These two applications are going to eliminate curb cuts, make less curb cuts on the street, because both of the projects currently have two. So when we go ahead and we examine the property to provide either a new curb cut or using one of the existing curb cuts. At the same time, we're going to accommodate whatever that shared parking agreement says. Now, if there's not a shared parking agreement, but one of our neighbors needs to have access, they're entitled to have access through the law. It's a prescriptive easement, because that's the way it's been used throughout the past decades. So to answer your question, it's going to have to be something that's going to take in consideration during the construction plans. If anybody's landlocked, they need to have access. We'll have to provide that access. That's something we'll have to examine as we go through the construction document process.
Again, I'm not 100% sure of what the details and the conditions are as far as that particular access.
Yes, sir.
But I do know for a fact that along that corridor, that same scenario repeats itself several times. And you said a key word. If that other property is landlocked, we need to work with existing or come up with a solution.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And in an effort not to be redundant, as is true with the location, the size of the property, and the proposed development program, the requests that we made in this application are almost, if not entirely identical to the previous application. So I won't go through them, but I will say that we have read them, we have understood them, we accept them, we agree to each of the conditions, and I'm be happy to answer any questions you guys may have, the board may have.
No, I tell you, at the risk of repeating myself, I like the design. I like
you.
Colors, yeah. I'm not gonna go there.
I hear you.
But no, the design I like it. It's a good, it's very becoming, and I'm sure Ms. Enriquez is the same. I can see there in her face right there. It's the future.
Thank you very much. We've worked hard on it, so
Yeah.
appreciate it.
So, any comments or questions? Anyone in the audience? Okay, closes the public hearing. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion
To approve
Second.
conditions.
The condition.
Second
Okay.
with conditions.
So we had a motion by Mr. Morales, second by Mrs. Enriquez. Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yeah.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you all very much, and happy Halloween.
Oh,
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.
Sorry for chopping you up so many times, but hey, at least you got through favorably. Hey,
Item number 8, variance permit to allow 3 on-site parking spaces and 2 on-street parking spaces where 11 parking spaces are required. Allow 7.7% pervious area where 10% is the minimum pervious area required. And to allow the mitigation of 1 tree as provided by section 98-2235. Property is located at 223 West 27th Street, Hialeah Zoned M1 Industrial District. Applicant, Michael Carballosa, on behalf of Orlando Carballosa.
thank you. Name and address, please.
Michael Carballosa, 875 West 30th Street, Hialeah, Florida.
I know you were sworn in. You've been.
Yeah,
here.
yeah, I was
Okay,
there.
thank you. Are you gonna speak to, or
That's Orlando Carballosa, my father.
are you gonna represent him, or?
Yeah. Tú no tienes que hablar.
Okay. No,
No,
if
he needs to say something.
Si quiere hablar, perfecto, pero si quiere hablar, cuando habla, necesita su nombre y su dirección. No, ok. ¿Jura que va a decir la verdad? Okay. Thank you.
This property is located on the north side of West 27th Street between West 2nd Avenue and West 3rd Avenue. The property is approximately 6,450 square feet of area and is currently developed as a warehouse with approximately 3,560 square feet of area divided into two bays. The current land use is industrial and the zoning is M1, Industrial District, which is consistent. Our city records reflect that the property was developed as a warehouse and obtained an approved site plan in 1985. In addition to the structure, the site plan reflected 3 parking spaces and a landscaping buffer. This application is requesting a parking variance due to the change of use of one of the bays identified as Unit 223 with approximately 1,780 square feet of area. The property has also removed the landscaping and open space requirements reflected on the site plan approved in 1985. The applicant is proposing a dance studio in such unit. Therefore, the parking requirements are greater than the parking requirements for a warehouse. Therefore, instead of the 2 parking spaces required, the dance studio requires 9 parking spaces. To reduce the parking impact of the proposed use, the applicant has provided a shared parking agreement letter with the industrial adjacent property at 221 West 27th Street. The applicant proposes to use the neighboring parking area during his business hour, which are from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., in contrast to the parking hours for the industrial uses, which are from 6 a.m. to 2 p.m. In addition, the adjacent right-of-way has been improved with parallel parking areas, allowing for the permissible parking credit included in the code according to Section 98-2192A, which provides a 20% parking credit for on-street parking. In this case, allowing for 2 parking space credit. Therefore, the proposed dance studio is requesting to provide approximately 60% of their parking requirements on site. However, the applicant has brought forward a detailed shared parking agreement, which could potentially provide for the missing parking spaces during the dance studio hours of operation. The applicant shall proffer a declaration of restriction to formalize the shared parking agreement and mitigate the landscaping of 1 tree on site. Staff provides the following condition: enter into a declaration of restriction to restrict the operations of the dance studio to only bay number 223 West 27th Street and to provide for the shared parking agreement conditions with property located at 221 West 27th Street and to provide a tree on site according to the approved 1985 site plan or provide a mitigation fee for 1 tree. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
I have a question about the tree. I did some research and I also called the ADA association. They said that they have a minimum of 11 feet, but Florida applies a 12-foot stricter for ADA for the stall, the 12-foot. But my request is if ADA has a minimum of 11, if I can put 11 feet instead of the 12, I don't have to put the tree. Just for I can just have another parking space in the area, if that is possible.
My understanding is that ADA parking requirement sizes are federally established, so this board does not have authority to reduce the size of that parking space.
The parking space is never going to be used. I'm a dance studio that I tell the parents to drop off the kids and leave because my office is in the front area and to protect the privacy of, the information of parents. I also leave my money there. I tell the parents leave the kids and pick them up later. The ADA, I've been there for, 8 years. Never had an ADA student, never had an ADA parent. The ADA parking, to be honest, is never going to be used. All I'm asking for is to reduce it from 12 to 11. That's all I'm asking for, so that we don't have to put a tree because he's the owner of the property. I'm putting a burden upon my own father. And once I leave, I don't plan on staying there forever. I'm in school to be a nurse. Once I become a nurse, I am going to leave. And to plant a tree, he's going to rent it to another industrial area. I'm turning it into commercial because I have to. And I've been doing this for years, and I've spent $30,000 over the years. And I'm not even planning on staying there forever. And my dad is going to put it back to industrial. So all I'm asking for is I don't have the money to put the tree, and my father also doesn't want the tree.
Through the chair, that is why we gave you the option. You don't have to put the tree. You have to mitigate for the cost of the tree. That is one option that we gave you, so you don't have to put it on the property. Okay, so you can mitigate it. But in relation to the ADA,
Yeah.
as I mentioned before, this board does not have the authority to reduce it or to waive it.
Okay. Can I tell my?
Do you understand what she just said?
Yeah, there's a fee that I must pay in order for me not to put the tree.
Right.
How much would it be?
We'll give
Discuss
you a
it
number,
later.
but it's,
Yeah. So it's kind of like, it's not a penalty,
Mm-hmm.
if you will. It's like, okay, in your case, you don't want the tree, or you don't have room for the tree, or the conditions aren't right for the landscaping for the tree. Okay. The city and the board can approve conditions or give and take, if you will. Okay, no trees. However, we would like you to donate or buy a tree or contribute a
Okay.
certain amount of money to the fund for another property.
Okay. Okay.
City property, not a private property.
Mhm.
Do you understand?
I understand now, yeah.
Okay, so,
Through the chair?
yes, sir.
This gentleman, part of the community, I don't know if you guys know this, he's been here before for another
Yeah.
situation a while
Mhm.
back ago. And he brings his dancers to our Christmas celebration,
Yeah.
which is a wonderful thing that he does. And he teaches a lot of young children the dance. I've been to the studio myself. They don't need that much parking because
Yeah.
that area is pretty much empty by the
Mhm.
time he starts his classes. So he doesn't really need that much parking. But what he does for the community, just for the dance that he brings to
Mhm.
our events and the city events, it's a wonderful thing that he does with the young girls and young boys. It's beautiful. I really hope that we could help him out and do whatever we can.
I'm a very small dance studio.
Well, as far as like Claudia said, as far as the dimensions of the ADA parking,
Yeah, we.
there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
That's, but there is that other option where the tree is
Okay,
concerned.
which I agree.
And, that would be something between the two of you. You
Okay.
guys can sit down, talk, and come up with a,
Yeah, I
With an
agree.
answer.
Because like I said, like once I leave, he's gonna rent it to industrial. I'm spending all this money.
Right.
Every penny that I make in this dance studio, the little that I make, I still live with my parents. I can't afford because every money that I make goes back towards the city, architects, everything. So
hey, that's
I
how
agree.
business thrives.
I know. And I mean, I decided to go back to school because this did stress me out at a point where like, I was
Gotcha.
mentally not here and everything that was happening was stressing me. So I decided to go back to school. But since I operate from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., school is in the morning. So this job is, good for me. And I don't want to close so suddenly, something that I love. Because I could still maybe own the dance studio and be a nurse at the same time. That's my goal. I don't know.
Okay, so Claudia, in your professional opinion, what would you suggest? Obviously, he doesn't have room for the tree or what, the tree is an issue. Obviously, the parking space is an issue, but that's beyond our control. What would your suggestion be as far as the mitigation and stuff like that?
For the mitigation, the best option will be that if we can coordinate, we will try to find an area close to the warehouse where there is parallel street. Maybe we have an island and we can improve it with a street tree at the location. So you will bear just the cost of buying that tree and the city will install it.
Okay. I have
And
one.
again, it's for city properties, not
Yeah.
private property.
No,
Okay.
no,
Perfect.
city property.
I just have one final request. My studio has been closed since June 21st. I did receive a cease and desist letter. I've been complying as best as I could, but my architect is an FIU professor. She teaches an FIU. Then she moved from her condo. Then she went to Japan for a month. So I'm like always calling and like, can you please hurry up? They gave us 180 days. Please hurry up. She took longer. She took 6 months longer, and that's not my fault. Then I have to hire an EMP, also coordinate with him, then the permit expediter. So I'm trying to comply as best as I can. Now I have to pay for the tree. I also have to pay for ramps. I have to do ADA ramps. I have to do the parking lines. I have to add a water fountain, a service sink. Is there any way I can maybe give me an extension until the end of this year so I can make money to
That the extension that you're referring is for the code enforcement case that you have?
Yeah.
We don't
No,
have authority
you have-
over that.
Oh, okay. I was told,
Yeah.
somebody told me that I could speak here for
You
it.
could,
Oh,
but
okay.
Yeah.
there's not a lot we can do for you because that's our jurisdiction.
Mhm.
Okay.
But okay, so
Motion to approve.
Second the motion.
Okay, we
With the
have a,
conditions
we have a
to be
mo,
met.
we have a motion by Mr. Rios, second by Mr. Iglesias and Mr. Mason. Mr. Perez?
sorry.
Mr. Perez?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yeah.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Item has been approved with conditions.
Thank you.
Get in contact with her
Yes.
and, maybe not tonight, obviously, but tomorrow or she'll. Okay, and we can work it out. Okay, thank you.
No, just one question. Since he does work with the community and everything, is there any way that we could help him out?
I'll give
with
him more
the
time. I'll give him more time. He has my number. He can call me and I'll give him more time.
Okay, great, great. Yeah, because it'd be great since he does help the city and does participate in city events.
We can work on the timeline. We
It
we
would
can
be
give him
great.
an extension. Don't worry, just we'll give you more time.
Thank you. Thank you, Alex.
Item number 9, variance permit to allow a building height of 49 feet where 40 feet is the maximum height allowed. Allow front setback of 4 feet where 20 feet are required. Allow 24 parking spaces where 29 parking spaces are required. And to allow 1 loading parking space where 3 parking spaces are required. Properties are located at 4148 East 8th Avenue, 780 East 42nd Street, and 790 East 42nd Street. Hialeah Zone C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District. Applicant, Felix Pardo, architect, on behalf of Store All 27 East 8th Ave, Hialeah LLC.
Were you sworn in? I don't.
No, I was just going to remind you, Mr. Chairman, I was not sworn in.
Okay, so
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth before this board?
I do.
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Name and address.
My name is Felix Pardo. I'm an architect. I'm the architect for this project. My office address is 2100 Zalzito Street, Coral Gables, Florida.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
This application encompasses the properties identified as 4148 East 8th Avenue, 790 East 42nd Street, and 780 East 42nd Street. All these properties are adjacent to each other. Therefore, this application is assembling all these 3 properties in addition to the vacated alleyway in accordance to ordinance number 2025-053. In sum, all properties are approximately 43,379 square feet or 0.99 acres of area. These properties are also located on the west side of the street, and their boundaries are East 42nd Street to the north, East 41st Street to the south, and East 8th Avenue to the east. The land use of the properties is commercial, and the zoning is C2, Liberal Retail Commercial District, therefore consistent. The properties have been improved since 1949, with a commercial building and an added parking area since 1976. According to city records, Mueller Animal Hospital operated at this location since 1989. However, the property has been partially vacated for over a year, and the most recent building permit obtained was for demolition under BLDC-003-609-2025. The building where the animal hospital operated is still intact and will need to be demolished prior to redevelopment. There is a series of code enforcement cases for failure to maintain the property, trash litter, and overgrown grass, which will have to be all cured before redeveloping the properties. This application is proposing to assemble all properties, including the vacated alley, as mentioned before, to redevelop it as a 4-story self-storage building with a total of 114,840 square feet with 24 parking spaces and 1 loading parking area. Therefore, this application includes the following variances requesting to permit the building to be 49 feet of height, where 40 feet is the maximum allowed, and with a reduction front setback on East 8th Avenue of 4 feet, where 20 feet are required, and allow 24 parking spaces where 29 are required, and allow 1 loading parking space where 3 loading parking spaces are required. Staff has been working diligently with the applicant since it approached the city with the proposed redevelopment plans. Since all the properties had been zoned commercial since 1986, according to city records and ordinance number 86-63, there are rights within the property already in place, because this application does not include any type of rezoning request. Therefore, the front setback reduction toward East 8th Avenue is positively evaluated because it allows the building to be placed as far away as possible from the western neighborhood, which are all single-family homes, creating a deeper buffer that varies between 15 feet to 67 feet. Regarding the height, the code permits an increase of 4-story and 50 feet when the project faces a frontage road. By East 8th Avenue, Lejeune Road is not listed as a frontage road. However, the area along Lejeune Road from the north of East 43rd Street and East 39th Place is heavily commercial, and since the building is proposed to be closer to Lejeune Road, the increase of 9 feet from the existing allowance is permissible. In addition, the elevation design has been treated to reflect if the building is only 3-story high. The external elevation treatment alleviates the height increase as well. The applicant is also seeking a parking variance regarding regular parking spaces and loading parking spaces. The applicant's letter of intent states that the operation of this kind of business, a self-store building, typically operates within a lower parking ratio than any other commercial operations. The applicant also states that no businesses are allowed to be conducted from the building. The regular parking reduction is it's an 18% reduction, which can be considered a minor parking reduction since it might not create a major parking deficit within the project. In addition, the project is proposing to improve the existing swell area with 2 parking spaces. These parking spaces could further alleviate potential parking issues and also serve the surrounding community, since these will be set as public parking spaces. The project is redeveloping within an area that is in transition, and also is proposing to assemble the redeveloped property that has been neglected for some time, according to existing code cases on the properties. Staff recommends the following conditions and finds the variances are well adjusted to the area. Develop the property according to the plan submitted and prepared by Felix Pardo and Associates, dated and signed October 24, 2025, and provide a unity of title to include all properties, including the vacated alley, and update the western 6-foot high metal picket fence to a 6-foot high solid masonry wall, and provide a lush western landscaping edge at all times. Staff recommends approval with conditions.
Thank you. This is that Molina's across from Molina's.
Yes.
Actually, that used to be Molina's property.
Oh, is that right? I did
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So if we could go to the site plan, please. I'd like to walk you through, that's the floor plan. Right there. Thank you. So north is up. There's a degree of difficulty for this particular property. And I was before your board for the alley vacating. So therefore, once I was granted the alley vacating, we were able to then unify the 2 sites and then provide the ingress and egress, vehicular ingress and egress on the south side opposite the restaurant across the street. Why is that important? Well, to the north of us, we are up against a fire station, which the last thing you will ever want to do is have the mixture of ingress and egress conflicting with emergency vehicles in a life-threatening situation. The second thing is Lejeune Road, as we all know, is a level F corridor. That is graded by the FDOT. It is the heaviest traffic that they can rate. So because of that, the north-south is extremely important. Any type of ingress and egress there, including the lobby or the alley that was there, is a huge mistake. So the reason that we designed this way is to provide the parking on the south side, double loaded, to be able to provide everything there, including trash pickup and also any truck that is larger. But normally we don't have that type of vehicle that comes to our property. Our property is a self-enclosed, fully air-conditioned, security monitored facility that on the outside will not look like the typical prototypical self-storage building. That being said, the buildings that have already been demolished, and when we eventually tear down the last remaining building, were almost right on top of the sidewalk on Lejeune Road. So by pushing our building, and staff has done a remarkable job in working with us by pushing our building toward the east against Lejeune Road, against the sidewalk, it provides the ability to then give us more space to buffer from the west side where the single-family residential is. There's a very big difference between the Molina's restaurant to the south, is that our use is only second to a mausoleum. We have very little traffic. We have very little parking. Based on my experience of working on these type of buildings for the last 15 years or so, all over the state of Florida, the neighbors that abut our property love it. It's clean, organized, quiet, and it doesn't provide a parking nuisance. You already heard that this evening for another project. It's always a concern. Because of that, we are very compatible of providing a buffer from the noise from Lejeune Road and its traffic to the neighbors to the west of us. So by doing this, we've asked for a little more height. Based on our structural system, we only have 10 foot 8 inches, or sorry, 10 foot 10 inches from floor to floor. So it's very easy on this 4-story building to hide a story when you look at the elevation. Can we go to the rendering, please? The 3D rendering. Right there. This is on the southeast corner of the property. So your access point is there to the left. Can we go to the next one, please? This is on the northeast corner. The fire station would be to the right if you go in through that street. If you notice, we provided canopies. It does have orange, but it's very little orange. And we're providing also normally our signs. We will do them in orange, but in this case, I talked to Public Storage and they are with us.
I have no issues with orange.
Okay.
It's not me.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
Okay. But if you could see, it's very, very subtle. And the whole point is that it's subtle. So when you look at this building, most people will look at it and say, this is a 3-story building. So it is, I know what I did. So most people don't know, but the scale is correct based on the very large avenue of Lejeune Road. And can we go to the next one, please?
There you go.
This one?
Yes. So what we've done is we've provided landscaping, even on Lejeune Road. We provided the canopies to give a human scale on Lejeune Road from a sidewalk standpoint. We've provided glass, which is transparent at the ground level, and it is glass, but you can't see through it up above. So by providing the glass that you could see through at the ground level, it gives you the opportunity then when you're walking by as a pedestrian, you tend to look over there, looking for merchandise, looking for anything else, like another use. So what we're trying to do here is provide a massing that we have also broken down in many directions, and we've made it interesting, and we made it look more like an office building than a self-storage facility. right in front of everyone on Lejeune Road. And the office entrance on the other side is right on the corner, and our hours of operation will be restricted. But the variances that we have asked for is that, first, from a parking standpoint, your code requires 1 to 4,000 square feet for one parking space. Almost the entire JUAs in the state of Florida require 1 per 10,000 square feet. So we are really, when we provide the 1 to 10,000, we never, ever come close to having that amount of people at one time in that facility because of the nature of the use of the facility. You have something, it's in a box, you take it in your car, your minivan, your pickup truck, you go there, haul it up with one of the carts, put it away or pick something up, and you're gone. And you probably won't be back for quite some time. That's why the 1 to 10,000, which is recognized by most zoning codes for most JUAs in the state, that requirement of 1 to 10,000, I can guarantee you, is way above what is really needed. But on top of that, we've been able to provide more parking than that because we're very close to the 1 to 4,000. We're just off by a certain percentage. The height, as you could see, 4 stories, the building looks like 3. And the overall height is 4 or 5 feet because you have to go to the top of the parapet, and that's how we measure it. And then the loading, your code requires 3 loading spaces for these big trucks. We never have those big trucks come in. We don't have deliveries for, boxes. We don't have delivery for merchandise like that. And no one is allowed to run a business out of a self-storage building. That's on their contract with us. And I think that covers all the variances. And I'll tell you before you make your motion to approve or deny, the city of Hialeah, starting with the planning department, has been fantastic. I've been doing this for almost 5 decades. That's a long time. I have worked in just about every square inch of the state of Florida, and it's been a real pleasure working with your planning director, staff, all your staff, and you could see the comprehension of their analysis is succinct, to the point, very fair. They ask for things, you're seeing the result, and I think it's a great thing. I wanted to bring it to the board's attention that you are very fortunate to have very good staff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Your parking is going to be on 41st Street to the west of Lejeune.
Yes, and we have provided the greatest distance there between us and the neighbors
Right.
to the west.
And as far as, that's also going to be the access point to the storage building itself from that parking lot.
Yes, and on top of that, I failed to mention that we are providing a 6-foot-high concrete masonry fence on the property line with that neighbor to the west.
Okay, but you also have office entrance, if you will, on the corner of
The corner, yes. And let me explain the function of this. Normally, we only have 1 employee, possibly 2, but normally it's 1 employee. And at the office, normally it's someone that already has a contract. They have a question, extend their lease, it's a light paperwork thing. But that person is there really to monitor and keep the place organized and clean and well and working. The lobby, you have to go in with a security code
Right.
to go in and then take the elevator or go straight into the first floor or go to the different floors in the facility. So although it's there, we have them separate from each other. The office is on the corner, provided that good planning process because we've got the sidewalk right there. And also, when people come in, if they're not used to doing business there, they're going for the first time, they could go park and then walk right into the office and get the information that they
That
need.
was gonna be my next question,
sir.
Dave. The parking lot is for the entire property, the entire building,
Yes,
be it bringing in your stuff, taking out your stuff,
yes.
and or doing whatever business you need to do at the office.
Right.
Questions, a contract, a rental, or what have you. And then they'll park in the parking lot and just walk on the sidewalk to the office? Or do they, a first timer, for instance, walk to the front office because you don't have access to
No.
the side?
We have a small sign that identifies office.
Mm.
The other one identifies lobby. So lobby is where the elevator is. This is where you bring in your
When you already have access to?
100%.
Okay.
Completely secured.
Yeah, yeah.
And also, please remember, Mr. Chairman, that we limit the hours of operation. So there's not going to be any type of conflict with the residents next door.
Okay, the next question, which I don't know, my eyes are not what they used to be. This is going to be an enclosed self-storage,
100%.
no
No,
outside,
no drive up.
boats or
there-
RVs or
Yes.
trucks or what have you.
Right. There's another self-storage company that for years they rent trucks, U-Haul. That we never have rented trucks. We do have some properties that are the older properties that have, boats or something like that because of the location, and they're walled in. This will not have any of that. This on the outside looks exactly like the rendering, looks like an office building.
All right. Any comments or questions? Anyone in the audience have comment, questions? All right. What's the pleasure of the board?
Motion to approve with conditions?
Second the motion with conditions.
Okay, we had a motion by Mrs. Enriquez, second by Mr. Iglesias. Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Mason? Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Item have been approved with conditions.
Thank you very much.
So
Have a
Molina-
nice evening.
Molina has gone self-storage.
There you go.
Thank you
And-
for the
and
comments,
also-
Mr. Pardo.
Yeah,
Appreciate the
thank you.
comments.
Well, I meant it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. Molina and the little animal hospital that used to be there.
Mueller.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very nice.
they relocated.
Thank you. Okay, we have,
Miscellaneous items not requiring
wait a
advertising.
minute, we have,
Oh, that's right.
An
We need
item
to
on
go
the
back.
table.
we have an item on the.
You can just read the item into the record and make a motion to postpone the item.
Okay. So item number 2, let me go back. Item number 2, final decision to allow rear setback of 8.5 feet where 20 feet are required for a proposed aluminum terrace. Property is located at 6120 East Fourth Avenue, Hialeah Zones R1, one family district. Applicant Joel Gonzalez and George Figueiredo Acolea.
Okay, since we gave this applicant an opportunity to come up, to show up late or what have you, and they never did. This item was tabled. Should we just keep it tabled
No.
for a different date
No, you
or
have to make a motion to postpone.
postpone for?
A specific
Second.
date, specific date.
Okay,
To
so
the next meeting.
So
we can do that to the next.
postpone until November 19th, 2025.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it?
You
Yes, you need to-
vote.
You need to-
So motion was Mr. Ulloa, second Mrs. Enriquez.
Now motion to postpone.
Yes, to the next.
Postpone until November 19th, 2025 meeting.
It's a legal term,
Yeah.
table,
Getting
postpone,
there.
6 one way, half a dozen the other,
So
same difference.
I guess motion to postpone.
They made. the
Yeah,
motion.
they
Yeah, we
were
already made that.
second. Mr. Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Mason?
Yes.
Mr. Iglesias?
Yes.
Mrs. Enriquez?
Yes.
Mr. Ulloa?
Yes.
Mr. Morales?
Yes.
Item has been postponed until November 19th, 2025 meeting.
Have a good night, brother.
Let's go back to miscellaneous items not requiring advertising. Item number 10, old business. Okay, no old business. Item number 11, new business.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you so much.
Happy. And if that's it, we don't, nothing else?
No candy?
Then